not going anywhere. I'm not risking adding more.
You risked it all for your crew, and you're saying I can't do the same for mine?
This is different. They're already gone.
You gonna tell the families that are waiting for them? If they're still alive, that is.
Control. We're commencing recovery operation.
Easter, this is Magnus. Stand down. That's an order.
Sorry, boss. Can't hear you. You're breaking up. Continue with the mission.
At least some of your crew know what's important.
Easter, you've got 10 minutes, then I'm reeling you in. And when you get back, we're gonna talk.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, hello. Congratulations on the new season. Before we dive into it, I mean, the first season ended on such a sort of apocalyptic seeming cliffhanger. Before you got the scripts for the new season, did any of you have any sort of wild theories about the direction that this season would take?
Well, I think at first we were just glad to be on the chopper.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
and on the right chopper.
The first chopper.
Because those people didn't get into series 2. So, but I really believed we were going to Hawaii because David had said, and I did a Photoshop, put us all in like Hawaiian skirts.
He did a curveball. In fact, there was a Hawaiian theme to the rap party, if I remember right.
Yes,
You remember?
that's why I believed
So
it.
we were totally seduced into that we were gonna, it was gonna be beach scenes and stuff, swimming trunks. But no.
No,
He
I'm
was-
actually
No,
glad now
unfortunately
thinking
not.
of that we were in coats.
No.
Yeah.
But the truth is, no. I think sort of I just couldn't imagine where the series was going to go, and that's why I'm not a writer. But David is, and he's brilliant. So he's taken it to pastures new, and it's got a horrible plausibility about it. You think this is kind of this really really makes sense. So picture or expanding into new areas, and that's kind of where we end up in the Arctic Circle, and that's where our new drama takes place.
Iain, in the first season, your character, he was sort of shaped by sort of the survivor's guilt of not being able to rescue his family, and Emily, I mean, your character now seems to be in that position as well after not being able to stop the ancestor in the first season. So I just want to say, do you feel that those characters have sort of switched places, or is it simply that they
I
just
never thought about that until now, and I'm like, that's
I think there is a truth in that. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely truth in that. And there was an absolute sense that in the first season we weren't really seeing each other. But then she witnesses me having a bit of a breakdown. I witness her really wrestling with her own demons about what she feels she's failed, and I think it's a very uniting thing that happened. But I hadn't really.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that for other
For the next
interviews.
That's great. It's always great when I can outsmart the cast. I mean, Rochenda, your character also has, sort of family-oriented motivation, trying to get back to see the wife, and this time around, without spoiling too much, she makes a deal with the devil to do that.
It certainly does. Yeah, no, another one. I'm going to take that. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, are the consequences of that deal sort of like the bigger tension in her arc this time, rather than attempting to reunite?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bigger tension than finding one's wife, but I feel like as she's ex-military, I think that she's definitely got a kind of like a brotherhood / sisterhood thing going on, and the guilt that she has going home is definitely there. Yeah, that's a huge problem for Kat, for sure. And the lies and the deal with the devil, and it all kind of starts to become unraveled, and then trying to find my wife as well, dead or alive, it's quite a weighted storyline this year for Kat.
But I think it feels, doesn't it, kind of, the corporate cover-up. That's, you sort of feel it in real life all the time. Money buys people out of problems all the time. I mean, it's just, and it's a terrible predicament to put somebody in. We'll give you a whole bunch of money. You just can't speak about what will happen.
The truth.
But can't speak the truth, but we'll try and reunite you with the one you love most in the world,
Or you stay here and freeze to death and never.
Exactly. And we won't help you at all. So it's an impossible dilemma that Kat's put into. And again, they're very good at I don't know. You know, they target. You know, they can sense the vulnerability, and I think it feels like she prays. And it's really love that scene where she comes to you in that first episode because you know, all the time it's one of the great things that Alice, one of the new characters, brings to it. You're just not quite sure where she's coming from, you know, but, you know, it becomes clear by the end anyway.
And she's like, I'm a mother too.
Yeah, you're not
she
sure
pulls
if
that
it's...
kind
You don't even
of...
know if it's a lie
That's
or not.
a sociopath.
Yeah. You can't tell what's truth and lie, yeah.
Emily, I've also seen that you have described your character's arc as going like full Ripley this time around. So could we describe her as an action hero this time?
I felt like, well, because we've watched all of them now, and for the first time in my life, I thought maybe I could be an action hero, which I never thought I would be cast as a scientist. But yeah, I feel like it feels so epic, the whole world of it, and what I love is that in season 1, Rose is really towing the company line. Everything's about climbing the ladder. And in season 2, she is part of the crew and learning to be a leader. And then goes full Ripley.
Because I was surprised to read that like so much was just filmed in the studios in Edinburgh because it looks so advanced this time around. And and you all pull off a very difficult trick, which to my mind, to a non-actor, seems like the most difficult thing to do. To act cold when it isn't.
Especially when you're in a hot coat.
In August.
Yeah. So I don't know, what are the acting secrets to acting cold in just such a completely perfectly fine room temperature environment?
Well, he went to RADA, and he was telling us all about how to act cold. So
This is one of the elements of the course that they teach you in the third term, acting cold, acting hot. Now, honestly, there's a huge amount of help given inside the studio because they do create this vast ice skate for you, and then they're throwing wind at you, they're throwing snow at you, they're throwing all sorts. And a huge amount of research was brought into the studio from, you know, initial forays by the production, by the director into the landscapes that they were filming and to bring as much reality into the studio as possible. So it's kind of, it just contains it. The truth is that it would be impossible for us to have filmed any of the stuff really that we did on the ice in the real location. So they can pick up drone stuff. What they do so well is sort of feed seamlessly, put it all together so you can't tell what is and what isn't. And so, but it's kind of, you know, after a while, like, you know, as an actor all the time, you know, whether it's someone's hanging a boom behind the person you're speaking to, or someone's crossing the back of the plane, there's all sorts of things you need to exclude when you're acting something, and include, and that's just part of your focus. So it's a different type of focus that you use, you know. You know, I had it. You know, if you're in Game of Thrones looking at dragons, there's something you just need to create there for you. And
you didn't
this
have real dragons?
no, this isn't funny. We didn't have real dragons, but
low budget.
yeah. But honestly, there was all very enhanced and made a lot easier by what they brought into the studio to create that reality.
So the first season, of course, resonated with a lot of people because it has so many timely aspects. It's so sort of relevant and urgent to the current climate crisis. But I want to know if you also agree, another reason why I think it's resonated with people. Is it because people all relate to having a bad boss?
You're bringing up great stuff.
This is good.
Why didn't we have you first interview of the day? Because we would have sounded amazing. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I never thought of that before, but it's so true. It's so, and well, with anything, any story that's worth its salt, I think, is basically a microcosm society. This could be high school. This could be anywhere that you put a group of people together and they form hierarchies, and this one in particular, bosses. Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys in season 3 get to go to Hawaii and somewhere nice and hot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and congrats again on the new season.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Thanks for your
Bye.
understanding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.